everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well and had a great week and ready for the weekend. And I hope you get to enjoy it wherever you are and whatever you're doing. For the month of May, we are going to be covering rock music. That's a big part of my life. I'm excited to be doing it for the month of May. I'm still working on the name of it. I know I was going to have a better video to kick off the month, but I'm still working on it. So I decided to do an introductory video instead and say hello, everybody, and thank you. We hit 700 subscribers. Thank you all, and much appreciated. So without further ado, let's talk about rock music and how it basically was such a big revolving force for myself and how it was a big inspiration. I remember growing up listening to rock music my whole life. You know, my brothers were big classic rock fans. They saw The Who a million times. They're only like 13 or 14 years older than me, by the way. They were born in the 70s. But anyway, I was born in the 80s. But I'm an 80s baby. I remember growing up listening to like Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses. I remember seeing that stuff on MTV when MTV actually used to broadcast music videos and show music content. My father was a big rock and roll junkie. He loved rock music and also country. He was all over the place like myself. That's probably where I get the music ADD from. But yeah, like some of my biggest inspirations, like I remember the first ever CD I got on a Walkman was Kiss Destroyer from one of my brothers, and the other brother gave me Alice Cooper Killers. So that started it all. And I also remember going to see in, I think it was, what was it, 2000 or 2001? 2000. It was Alice Cooper Brutal Planet in Wallingford, Connecticut at the Oakdale Theater. Now that was a badass tour. That was a lot of fun. I've seen so many concerts in my life. I remember going, my very first concert, yeah, it's not super rock, but it's still rock, was Matchbox 20 Semisonic Soul Asylum. And I think when I saw that concert, I was like hooked. Because then I saw Garbage, Squirrel Nut Zippers, and like two other bands. It was Radio 104 Fest. It was Radio 104 Jingle Bell Jam. So I've always been in love with music, and music's a huge part of my life. It's every aspect of my life. I also worked for a radio station in my early 20s, WCCC The Rock 1069. WCCC The Rock 1069 out of Hartford, Connecticut. I was Sloth on the Pocosi in the afternoon show. I also worked promotions, so like I miss those days. A shout out to Gargantuous Soul, baby. G Soul for life, Tribe for life. What are some of your biggest inspirations? What kind of music do you all have in your gut and that drives you, I guess inspires you? I'm going to have a lot of fun with this month. I look forward to sharing everything that I'm putting together. We're going to kick off the month with like Elvis and his explosion, and then his influence into the British invasion, and how Woodstock was such an iconic moment in 1969 and had such an impact on music and civil rights and that whole counterculture movement. And then we're going to dive into the 70s, talking about how classic rock, like likes of the Allman Brothers and Lynyrd Skynyrd, started with the Southern rock trend, which followed with a lot of the arena rock, AC/DC, Kiss, Aerosmith, and all those guys to combat disco. And then we're going to talk about some of the punk explosion out of New York City and CBGBs in the late 70s, early 80s. And then we're going to talk about the 80s and metal and the likes of Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, and Poison, Cinderella, Dokken, Wasp, Alice Cooper, of course. So please stand by, and I hope you look forward to watching these videos as I put them out over the next few weeks of the month of May. Share some of your favorite stories of connected to rock music. Tell us some of your favorite musicians. Tell us about your favorite concert that you went to. Yeah, other than that, we got the new vault in the mail. I usually do this as a separate video, but I figured I'd do this tonight. This came in. It's from Get Me Behind Satan. On this side, it's Forever Her is Over For Me. And then the side you guys were just seeing was Spitting Tax, Tracking Rehearsal. And then it came with like a DVD or a Blu-ray. And then, of course, the vault of Get Me Behind Satan, which is kind of cool. Also, speaking of rock and roll, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced their nomination for the class of 2025. Jack White was mentioned, and he, with his band White Stripes, of course, not just Jack White, but White Stripes. Joe Cocker, Cyndi Lauper, Outkast, Bad Company. I feel like I'm missing someone too. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you all have a great weekend, and remember, we're not each other's enemies. And stay tuned for next week's episode where we rock off May. Peace. Remember, we're not each other's enemies. Rock on, everybody.